Hi there, Rick Hernandez again. I want to talk to you today about something I found, which has been awesome for me, something that's really kind of changed my life. Many of us have muscle myopathy and we experience it in different ways. It affects us differently. So I've started going to the gym, and so I bought some of this stuff. And I gotta tell you, it was a life change for me. It's not a miracle cure. It doesn't last forever. It lasts for me about 4 hours. But during those 4 hours, I feel amazing. It's benefited me in the long run in many, many, many ways. So I want to share that with you. Okay? Here we go. I'm 71, and even though it's hard to even deal with the fact that I'm 71, it's crazy to be at this age and things start happening. All the different things that go through with us, the kidney issues, the breathing issues, the insomnia issues, the heart attacks, all the terrible things that start happening to you as you get older. And one of the things that I've experienced, although I'm pretty healthy in many, many areas, I have this muscle myopathy. Muscle myopathy for me happened when I started taking statins. Took it for about a month and a half until very difficult to walk upstairs. I could do it unassisted, but I was really sore, and the soreness never seemed to go away. So I went to see my doctor, and of course, he said, no, this is such a rare thing to happen, muscle weakness, that I think you're fine. We'll just change the statins. So I tried another one. Same thing. I tried 4 different types. And apparently, the chemical that's inside of it that works for what it's supposed to do isn't all of them. And that's the chemical I'm apparently allergic to. And I went and saw a muscle neuropathy physician. And after many, many tests, a lot of prodding, a lot of digging, a lot of different things he put me through, sound waves, the whole thing, it was determined that indeed I do have muscle myopathy as a result of statins. He told me that it's really not as rare as the doctors are told, because the pharmaceuticals tell them that it's very rare that this happens, but apparently it's not so rare. Muscle myopathy is a form of, or at least the type that I have, is a form of muscular dystrophy. If it's not dealt with or it's not worked on, it can just get worse and worse and worse and worse. Your muscle fibers die and they're replaced with fat. How it shows up in my life is walking and try to, kind of moon around like I'm doing it intentionally. But apparently to other people, it looks like I'm drunk, like I'm just ready to fall over. I didn't think I'd look like that until I saw some videos and I said, yeah, I kind of really do look like that. Oh my God. Also, walking up steps is very difficult, or going up hills is very difficult for me. I feel like I weigh 400 pounds. Walking upstairs unassisted is difficult. I can go upstairs if I have 2 rails on the side, which actually pull myself up. That I can do. If I have 1 rail on one side and I use a cane on the other, I can also make that work. But no rails, no cane is very, very, very difficult. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was at a friend's house. I went to go visit them in Riverside. I hadn't been there for a long time, and they just did a whole renovation on their house. And they don't have any rails anymore on their staircase going up to their house, which is about 10 steps. And I kind of panicked because I didn't bring a cane. I didn't have any kind of walker. There was no rails. There was no way for me to get up there. And I had to figure it out. And so I ended up crawling up the stairs, up to the front door. Walking down is very difficult as well, because I have to actually lean on somebody's shoulders to make sure I don't fall. Because that's the other thing, falling. That was never my scope of things. I mean, once in a while I trip or something and I could easily recover once I was on the ground. But at this age, it's not so easy. I can't support myself when I fall. I can't grab myself. I actually hit my head many times. So that's kind of a scary situation. So I've started going to the gym. I've been going to the gym actually for about a year now. And even though I don't feel like I've improved, because the soreness is still there, the weakness is still there, I can do things I couldn't do a year ago, which is basically if when I get down on the ground to actually get myself up, to actually get out of a chair. Just little things like that, which are huge for me. So I think working out is definitely beneficial. Exercising and moving those legs and making them work. Like even right now, just standing here talking to you, they're starting to get kind of cattywampus or kind of weak, and just supporting myself. It's the weirdest thing. I know that the people can take the pills to manage themselves, or the supplements. The medications that doctors offer are basically painkillers. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to use the painkillers or the ibuprofen or the acetaminophen, none of that. I do it once in a while after I've had an intense workout and I feel sore and I know that I can go out that evening, I'll take one just to get through it. I have improved after years worth of working out. The one thing that's difficult, once I got myself to the gym, was actually going through the exercises. It's been kind of difficult to push those muscles to make them work. So I'm there sore, trying to make these exercises work, and then I'm sore for the next 3 or 4 days, and I don't get the benefit. It's not like when I work up the upper part of my body, you get that pump. Everybody wants that pump. I love that pump. You don't get that in your legs. I don't get that in my legs. I just get the soreness and the weakness as a result of working out, but none of the benefit or the good feeling good part of it, until I found this particular supplement, Power Life. I saw his video on Facebook, and I heard his story. He lost the use of his muscles. He ended up in a wheelchair, and he, over time, developed this supplement to help with muscle building. And so I bought some of this stuff, and I gotta tell you, it was a life change for me. It's not a miracle cure. It doesn't last forever. It lasts for me about 4 hours. But during those 4 hours, I feel amazing. I drink it just before I go to the gym, probably about a half hour before. On my way there, I can start feeling it working. And once I get there, I feel relatively normal. The achiness is a little there, and the muscle weakness is still there, but I don't feel it like I did before. I feel actually energized by it. And working out has become so much easier for me. The only negative, there are actually two negatives with taking the supplement. One is that I tend to overdo it when I'm at the gym. And so I do suffer for that, for pushing myself a little too much, because I feel like I can. The positive in that situation is instead of taking 3 to 4 days for me to recover, it's 2 days now, which is what I think a normal recovery is for people. I like that. The other negative is that even though this is supposed to last me a month, it only has enough for 15 days. So I use it sparingly. I have other supplements I take in the meantime, which is an amino acid, which I'll talk to you about in another video. This stuff has been a miracle cure for me. It's been so great. It's also a motivator for me to go to the gym. Once I take it, I feel like I gotta go to use up that energy productively, and I do. So this is what I'm gonna talk to you about, how I make this stuff. For me, I like it cold. I put it in my glass first, put it into my blender so that I know exactly how much I'm making. Then what I do is I take this off, of course. I put in the water and the ice. It just tastes better cold for me. I really didn't like it so much when it's warm, room temperature, although I've done it that way. This is the stuff, this is the miracle stuff, which I really love. And I put about that much into the blender. Usually I put a banana in there, and then it just gives it a little more flavor, a little more interesting texture. Then I pour it into my little glass, like that, and give it a little drink. I really love this stuff, like I said before. It's very tasty. This one happens to be chocolate.